Alright, video 3 here now, guys. Wednesday, December the 10th at 10:08 at night now, so I've lost half an hour and I'm making the videos that I want to get back to doing what I'm doing here now. 8 minutes after 10, 2024. So that's Wednesday, December the 4th at 10:08, 2024. And this video 3 here now, guys. Just me chit-chatting, sharing some stuff again about my life and my current situation and so on and so forth, and just opening up and again just sharing my my ongoing journey of down here in this place, living in a one-room bachelor in downtown St. John's, in the year 2024, pushing 60 odd years of age now, guys. This point in my life, this point, this stage, and the situation here in town as well. It's all related, it's all connected, sort of thing, and I'm part of it. I'm part of the overall situation. So basically, some of what this is, guys, when I make videos of this nature, some of what it is to share, because I have no one to share with. Again, I have no friends that come by and keep me company and try to take my mind off things and haul me out of my slumps and so on that, and take me around, and we go around together and do stuff and fun things, and just I don't have any of that sort of thing, guys. I don't have any outside of the bit of money that I'm getting from the government to keep me alive, sort of thing, and keep me in poverty as well. I don't have any other outside sources of people that help me out and all the rest of it. Now, the thing there, guys, like, as you age yourself, and as you lose all the extra resources that you may have had when you were younger, which I had some of when I first left Tollingate, the area of Newfoundland where I'm originally from. Sort of northeast of here, about a 4-hour drive northeast of here, across the island. Small little fishing village. You look it up online if you want to. At Tollingate, Newfoundland, TWILLINGATE, Tollingate. It's actually originally a French name. It was originally a French settlement before the British took it over. And of course, before that, then it was a Beothuk area where Beothuk people lived, the first people here in Newfoundland before any of us came here, sort of thing. That we took from them and we killed them off, and they no longer exist, unfortunately. But that was an area where Beothuk people, I guess, made camps. They fished, they hunted, or whatever, however they lived their lives on this island before we came here. Then it was a French settlement, and then an English settlement. But so they kept the French name, but just as the English do with everything French, they kind of like brutalized the French pronunciation of it as something like Toulinquet or something like that, Toulinquet in French. And it just became eventually Tollingate. But anyway, you can check it out online, guys, if you want to, the place, the community, and so on that. And that's where I'm from originally, here in Newfoundland. I am not a townie. I'm not a St. John's out, we want to call the people born and raised there. I'm a born and raised Newfoundlander, 6 or 7 generations Newfoundlander, but I'm not from this community, this town. Moved there back in '87, and it's been a struggle ever since I came here, guys. And because I'm not born and raised to this town, even though I am a Newfoundlander. I gotta say, it doesn't roll off your tongue as easily when you pronounce the name properly, guys. Maybe we should just change the name of the place or something. I don't know. Because I wasn't born and raised there, I don't have the towny mentality of those that are born and raised there, sort of thing. Where there is a little bit of a towny mentality, or there used to be anyway, and what we used to call a bay mentality. So, well, a lot of that's changing too, because the whole of Newfoundland in general is changing, and not for the better, unfortunately. So, came here in '87, guys. With the original intentions of just being here for a couple of years, and then heading off to Halifax, Nova Scotia, which was the original game plan. A couple of years in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and then I was going to head off to Toronto. That was where my eventual destination was going to be. When I was in my 20s, guys, and I thought I had everything all planned out for my future and all the rest of it. Because you go from a tiny little fishing village to a big mega city like Toronto, which even back in the 80s it was still a sizable place, sort of thing. I figured it was going to be too much of a jump, too much of a transition. So I just wanted to transition kind of like relatively easily, sort of thing. So I figured if I went from larger to larger to larger, sort of thing, I could just gradually climatize and readjust that way, sort of thing. So my first year, 2.5 years or so, I lived in Gander, Newfoundland. So another place sort of in the center of the island, sort of thing, about an hour and a half drive from where I'm originally from. And then I moved from there to here, and been bogged down here ever since, guys. So my life has not played out at all, not even remotely close to the way that I had originally planned for it to unfold, And I come from poverty, guys. So again, it's so hard. There's so much to get into, and I can't do it in these short little snippet video sort of thing. I come from poverty. I come from mental sickness, mental illness issues, sort of thing. My father worked in the fish plant out in Tollingate all of his life, so that was the income that we had to work with. So lower, I always classified us as lower middle class sort of thing, people, a family. Not anywhere near upper middle class, and I wouldn't even necessarily classify us as properly middle class, kind of more lower middle class sort of thing. So, but we had our basic needs met all the time. We lived in a small little cramped little place. We still have it out there now. My brother has it, which would only be a small little bungalow here in town. We'd consider a small little bungalow. 5 people, guys, all on top of one another all the time. No real space, no privacy, anything like that sort of thing. So that's how I spent the first 20 odd years of my life before I moved out on my own, sort of thing. So. And then I went from sort of bad to worse in a sense, because I had to live off government assistance off and on as I was trying to get work and all the rest of it. The issues that were bothering me as I was growing up, mental health issues and all the rest of it, learning issues and all the rest of it, never got treated, never got taken care of properly. So I had to deal with all of that when I went out on my own, and still having to deal with it to this very day, guys. So made it difficult for me to keep jobs, hold down jobs and all the rest of it, because those issues weren't taken care of. And so I kept going on back to government assistance, and eventually I got to a point in my, I think it was my late 20s, early 30s, where I just gave up on. I gave up on trying to get work and so on, that losing jobs as fast as I would get them, and I just stayed on government assistance while I was trying to figure out how to get this other crap, straightened out and rectified if I could, and get medications for it. If there was any medications that would take care of it, sort of thing, and so on and so forth. So I tell you all of that there, guys, so you can know and understand that keep in mind, guys, every time I do that, I'm checking the time, how much time I'm using up here as I'm recording. Every time I turn it around like that, because I don't have it on the front here. I tell you all these things, guys, so you can understand that even though I am on government assistance, I'm not on government assistance for the reasons that so many other people end up being on government assistance for. I am not an addict. Okay? I'm not an alcoholic. I am not a drug addict. I don't even take any prescription medications. I'm on no prescriptions, nothing. I'm on nothing, guys. And okay, so now when I say that I don't drink, well, what I mean by that is that there was a point in my life right up until my mid-30s where I didn't touch it at all. You know. Now what I do now, guys, is I have the odd, like a bottle of wine, or you know, a few beers, or maybe like a flask of rum or something like that on special occasions, guys. And you understand this, please. Get this part of it so I'm abundantly clear on what I'm trying to get across to you. I will have something probably Christmas time, so I may get a bottle of wine now for Christmas if I can swing it. New Year's rolling around, I'll get something for New Year's. Then that will be it, guys, until St. Patrick's Day. Now, when St. Patrick's Day rolls around, I've been into celebrating that now for the past quite a few years, now going into a decade or so. And some of that is because where St. Patrick's Day comes right on the beginning of spring, it's kind of like I just put the two together sort of thing. So I'm celebrating St. Patrick's Day and the onset of the spring season as well. So it's that sort of thing as well, sort of thing. So I do celebrate that. And then the next big thing then, guys, is Canada Day in July. And that's it. So I'll get something for Canada Day and maybe get a little buzz on the go sort of thing, you know, to celebrate Canada Day and just kind of get that edge off my nerves, which is, you know, what booze does do for people. To take the edge off your nerves sort of thing. And then I swear to God, guys, that is it then for the whole rest of the year, all the time in between and all the rest of it sort of things like, and I don't bother with it and I don't crave it. This is the thing, I don't crave it. Like once I'm done, once I've done my bit of celebrating or whatever, I go on and I don't think about it again until the next special occasion rolls around. And I don't touch any kind of drugs at all, period. Never have, never will. And what else? I mean, drugs and alcohol, what other convictions would you have, you know? So I'm not in this mess that I'm in, guys, because of addiction issues. So I say that because that is the, I think that is the impression that most of society get of people that end up on any kind of money from the government, any kind of government assistance, welfare, social services, or whatever, is that they very, very wrongly assume that every single solitary individual that ends up in that situation must be an addict, must be somebody who has no control over their lives. You know, they become an addict and they ruin their lives through addictions, and then they end up in that mess. And while this is true, guys, yes, for a huge percentage of people that end up in that situation, it is not true for every single solitary one of us. So I can't give you accurate percentages, guys, of how many end up in poverty, end up on government assistance and so on, that due to those issues, addiction issues, and how many of us end up in that situation for for circumstances largely or almost completely beyond our control. So I'm in that category. Okay, I'm in that category of percentage of people that end up in this predicament, in this mess, because of things largely almost completely beyond my control. Not because I am an addict. I mean, look around you guys. Look around you, okay? I don't mean to be overly melodramatic here, but like addicts do not keep things like this, you know? There's a couple mats here now that I'm just trying to clean out and dry out there, you know, so on that. But like you don't see dirt here, sort of thing, and all this sort of stuff is just here right now because I'm in the process of decorating. You know, I'm decorating for Christmas there, guys. You know, like, addicts don't do that sort of stuff, guys. Addicts don't think about that sort of thing. They don't live that way. They don't try to keep things clean and tidy, and they don't think about, like, decorating places and spruce things up for special occasions and celebrating like normal people do. You know, so I live like a normal person, guys, to the best of my ability, you know, even though I have next to nothing to work with to be able to do that sort of thing, you know. But addicts, they're obsessed with their addictions, whether it's alcoholism or your next hit of whatever sort of thing, whatever your drug of choice is that you're hooked on sort of thing. The whole of your mind is consumed with that next friggin' hit or that next buzz from that next beer or bottle of wine or whatever it is that your substance is that you're addicted to, sort of thing. And that marks the huge difference between addicts and non-addicts, guys, who more or less kind of end up in the same position in life, but for vastly different reasons. So I am forever trying to point that out to people because it contributes to my depression and contributes to my anxiety issues and all the rest of it, when I'm thinking that other people are thinking that I'm like that. When I know full damn well, I lived that my entire life. I come from a religious background and all the rest of it. Not religious anymore in that sense, you know. I've never had any use for that sort of thing, you know. And I could so easily do it, guys, to numb this constant, endless anxiety that I'm feeling about the stuff that's going on in my life and the insane uncertainty in my life and so on. That booze numbs that. Yes, that's true. Booze does numb that. It numbs your senses. It numbs your nervous system. So it lessens that sense of constant, like you want to jump out of your skin every freaking moment, baby, because you're so anxious and you're so jumpy and you're so nervous, sort of thing, you know. You know, booze takes that away, and I would assume that any number of different types of drugs take that away as well. But when you get to a point when you make that a crutch that you depend on for every single problem in your life, then you've created an infinitely worse problem that wrecks your life completely. And I've always known that. And I get pissed off, majorly pissed off with people